Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia, and we meet every single morning at this time, so hurry up, grab a seat, grab your coffee, and we'll just talk about whatever. The first thing that I want to talk about is those videos that I posted yesterday. Was I a nutcase or what? I was so stressed out. You know, I thought about apologizing for them because, I know I was shouting, I was kind of agitated, and I was exasperated with the audio and with people telling me they can't hear and with not finding Woody. Woody, by the way, has been found. And you probably already know this because I do tape one day ahead. So you guys came early. And that to me was a big thing. I was explaining to you why I decided not to apologize. I decided not to apologize because I think it's important to be real. And that's what I want to convey in this channel. That we're all just human. We all have these feelings. Some people deal with stress better than others, and some people don't deal with it at all. And that's me. I get really uptight. And I was thinking about it last night, and I was wondering why did I get so uptight about the whole day yesterday? Well, if you listen to the video, you could tell. By the way, the ice cream was really good. I'm going to try blueberry next time. I'll save that for the scoop, though, because I want to talk about why I decided not to apologize. I am just human. I am just a human being. I make mistakes. I say the wrong thing. I maybe express opinion that offends somebody, which I sure did the other day, but I'm not going to go into that. Thank you to the person who said hit and run. If you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. I take things very seriously. And I was feeling, well, like I said, I want everybody to be happy. Everything be la la la. We're just having a great time. Well, once again, that's not the reality of it either. But where was I going with that? I was feeling responsible for losing Woody. I felt terrible about it. Because I figured it had to be something I did because I'm so technically savvy. And all the people who tried to help me, thank you so much. I tried every single thing. And finally, and of course I don't remember the person's name, I followed the last instructions, which were totally different than all the videos that were out there and everything. I am telling you, YouTube is not user-friendly. It's not. I went to one place that said I had no blocked videos. Well, finally, I went and I blocked subscribers. And this one I finally found yesterday after trying for days and days and days had tons of them. So there's a lot of people of you I don't like. No, if you get missing all of a sudden, and you're in my good graces, let me know right away, and hopefully it'll only take me a day or two because I've already forgotten how I got there. But I did save the email of the person who led me in the right direction. So I felt responsible for that. I felt incompetent because I couldn't find him, and I was sure that I must have deleted him or blocked him. It just made sense. So, enough of that. I felt bad about that. Then the poor people who can't hear. I got so exasperated because, believe it or not, I have tried everything in my power to fix that situation. And I'm not going to try anymore. I've done the best that I can. I am going to let it go. If you can't hear it, maybe try earplugs or unsubscribe. That's all I'm going to say. I can't take the anxiety because I feel responsible. And I suppose in some way I am, because I can't get the audio right for everyone. So that's why I'm not going to apologize, because I want you all to see things in reality. And I bet there are a few of you out there that would react the same way that I do. Maybe there would be some that would be so perfect. So anyway, I'm not apologizing for who I am, and no, I'm not quitting. I know I was like, wow, if this doesn't get any better and if I get stressed, I'm going to quit. That is just a child's temper tantrum, but I'm 76 years old. Poor me. So anyway, we can't laugh too much in this because we're still talking about urinary incontinence. I'm going back to business now. I had to clear up those things because they were bothering me. I just want to do a quick overview. Yesterday we talked about urinary incontinence, and I was surprised with all the comments. And I guess it's not unique that people might have urinary incontinence, either full-blown or stress or urge or whatever. One of the ones that I didn't really talk about, or I didn't name, was functional incontinence. And that's like if you have a spinal cord injury, or if you have MS and there's nothing that can be done, or you have, certain neurogenic bladder or whatever. And then there's a combination. You can have stress and urge incontinence at the same time. Urge incontinence is also sometimes called overactive bladder. So if you've ever been diagnosed with an overactive bladder, that's urge incontinence. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I told you, I am not an expert in anything, and I am not pretending to be. But aging is a new experience for me and for you. Incontinence is something that we didn't have to deal with since we were infants. So there are ways to train your bladder. In my limited experience, and once again, I am not being judgmental or critical of anyone. Do not let your feelings get hurt if you fall into this category. Oh my goodness, I can't laugh. You can retrain your bladder. Yep, you can. As a matter of fact, when I was heavily involved in nursing homes, which was quite a while ago, it was a federal requirement that anyone in the facility that was incontinent, you had to develop a bladder training program. I can tell you, there may be exceptions to this rule, but the bladder training program was on paper only. If I'm wrong, correct me. It's very difficult to do a bladder training program, particularly in a nursing home when you're short-staffed. You're going all the time, and everybody's incontinent, and everybody's on a bladder training program, and they're all individualized. So that's just my input on nursing homes. then there's us, the individual person, who just accepts the fact that we're old and all old people are incontinent. Well, to some extent that's true. If you do a lot of research, everybody says it's not normal for incontinence. Well, it's almost normal. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But you can, they say, train your bladder, retrain your bladder. It requires effort. You need to do a bladder diary, avoiding diary. So you keep track of all your fluids. This is just an overview. Every training program should be individualized to each person. If you choose to do it yourself, then you can figure out your own bladder training program. If you go to the doctor and they suggest it, they'll probably help you with that and counsel you on how to start. So you have to do avoiding schedule. No, you have to document when you pee, when you're incontinent, what you're drinking for a few weeks so you get some data. And then what you have to do is you have to set up a toileting program for yourself. You have to go to the bathroom at first, maybe as soon as every 15 minutes. So you go in, pee, document that you peed, that it was a small amount. Go back, watch YouTube, 15 minutes, go back, write it down, and so forth throughout the day. You might want to continue that. You don't have to toilet yourself during the night. But if you get up, you document the time and the amount. Small, medium, large, a drop, stuff like that. You don't have to measure it. Ideally, it would be nice if you measure it, but, let's be real. So, you could put one of those Pyrex measuring cups in your toilet. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm going to say it whenever I want, Anne. I'm saying it whenever I want. Anyway, then you have to do fluid management. You have to figure out, or the doctor has to figure out, what is an acceptable amount of fluid for you. It's not a straight 8 ounces of water. 8-ounce glasses of water that you hear a lot of people talking about. It really should be customized to you, what your normal intake is. Your fluid intake should be at least 50% water. So yes, coffee counts, tea counts, but water should be 50%. You don't have to drink it in big globs and, glasses at a time. You can sip it throughout the day. But water is important. I don't drink. I drink maybe 1 glass all day long. And it's not water, it's iced tea. So it doesn't really count. Then you need to stop drinking. What I mean by stop drinking is, first of all, you want to limit your drinking. And we talked about, what amount of fluid is appropriate for you. If you're someone who retains fluid, you probably don't want to have a whole bunch of fluid added to that. You're probably on a restricted fluid intake. So, of course, you need to pay attention to that. But coffee that we drank every single day, most of us, some of us don't like it, but it's not only a bladder irritant, which causes you to feel like you want to pee, but it is also a bladder stimulant. So, guess what? Coffee's not that good for you. Maybe 1 cup a day is okay. If you drink 2, 1. If you drink 3, maybe 2, and then try and work it down. I am not an expert. I am just telling you these things. So then, alcohol. If you drink alcohol, if you have a cocktail every afternoon, if you have beer is famous for making you have to void. And I know there's some people on here that are beer drinkers, so just keep that in mind. I'm not saying don't drink beer or don't have a cocktail. No. That's the ideal situation. Because alcohol is a bladder stimulant as well. And you'll notice if you're out, well, I haven't been out partying in a long time, but if you're out partying and you're drinking and you're having fun and you're dancing, you have to go to the bathroom more frequently. So then you want to time your voiding schedule. I think I already said this, but I'm going to say it again. You start off at a certain amount of time. Go to the bathroom every 15 minutes, and you gradually increase it up to 2 hours. By the time you hit 2 hours, your bladder is probably as trained as it's going to be. So, it may have gotten you a little bit of relief from the incontinence. Even though none of us are incontinent. That's what else. I talked a little bit about hygiene and how when I worked in nursing homes, when I used to do consulting for wound care, some facilities you would walk in and you would be slapped in the face with the strong smell of urine. Nursing homes now, they get fined for that because they're not managing the cleanliness and the hygiene of the facility and of the patient. So, and some of them are old. If someone pees on the floor, it gets into the tile and it permeates the tile. I mean, there are all kinds of reasons why urine smells. But the fact is that urine does have an odor. So those of us who are incontinent, and I'm going to go to the briefs first, and who wear briefs, you need to change them, obviously, when they're wet. You need to fold them up and contain that urine inside the brief. Just like we used to roll up sanitary pads, remember that? My mother was like a fanatic about it. Anyway, and I would suggest, and once again, this is a suggestion, that you put that diaper when you are disposing of it into another plastic bag, like a grocery shopping bag, or like a used Ziploc bag that had meat in it or something. Or one of those vegetable bags from the grocery store. Just something to make another barrier for the brief. And then put it in a container that is also plastic lined. And keep it a small container so that you can then, well, first of all, you can manage it. But then you can seal that container so it's not accumulating. So you don't want to have a gigundous, 40-gallon trash bucket in your bathroom to dispose of these things because they smell. And the plastic in the bucket the smell leaches into the plastic or whatever, vice versa, whatever. The plastic starts to smell like urine and you can't get it out. You thought we were going to have fun today, didn't you? Well, come back for the scoop. we'll have some fun, but we have to do some serious things because this affects all of us. And actually, the reception to it yesterday was very good. And I'm not having a nervous breakdown, so that's a good thing. And Woody's back, and that's a good thing. And if we choose to, we can work on retraining our bladder. I know myself, I'm not so sure that I would do that. It seems like a lot of work to me. But do you really want just to accept the fact that, oh, I gotta go and you just pee in your diaper? I'm calling it brief, diaper, whatever, interchangeable. So anyway, I'm starting to lecture again. You have to clean yourself off well. Now, I don't know how you do it now, and I don't really know what to say, but they have, well, of course I know what to say. They have disposable wipes that smell great, that I would suggest you clean yourself off with toilet paper first and then use a disposable wipe. And don't just clean one area. Clean every place that the diaper was against. Your bum, your front, everywhere. They smell nice too. And then throw them in the trash with the diaper. They're also what they call perineal sprays that you can spray on. They have a normal pH because the urine actually can scald your skin and make it prone to infections like yeast infections and that sort of thing. So, you know, a lot of people use soap and water is certainly good for cleaning, but it does change the pH of your skin. So, to me, it makes sense to have a specialized product that maintains the pH of your skin. Not everybody can afford that. Do what's best for you. If you can't afford wipes, use soap and water. Bring it over to the toilet before you change, so you can just wash right there. Then you have to get rid of that washcloth. It's never ending. The other option you have is you could get one of those diaper genies. I don't have any clue about how it works, but I know that people with babies have diaper genies, and it contains the diapers and it contains the odor from the diapers. Now, the other thing that I think I talked about yesterday is people who are incontinent, who wear briefs, don't become accustomed to the odor. So when they come home from being outside, they don't notice that it smells like urine, or it might smell like urine. I'm not saying everybody's house smells like urine. I'm saying be careful, because it will if you don't take care of those articles correctly. I've been in a lot of elderly homes, and they can smell. And elderly people have a reputation for smelling. Let's show them otherwise. I bet you didn't learn anything you didn't know. Except I'm back to normal. I'm back to normal. I'm looking forward to the scoop because I am going to come up with some juicy gossip. Let's hope. And let's look for Woody. Let's be nice to him because, you know, he's kind of in the minority. And I'm talking about incontinence. I forgot. There are not only incontinent briefs, but you can wear pads. There's like poise pads. I know when I first started having little stress incontinence, I started wearing like mini pads. You know what happened? I would forget that I had them on, and then I'd throw them in the wash. Then I had little mini pads floating around in the wash because I never took them off the underwear. So there's pros and cons to everything. But there are also reusable briefs that are washable and are made primarily for incontinence. Now, I'm sure that they don't handle gallons of incontinence, but they probably handle stress incontinence, or they handle maybe, what you leaked while you're going to the bathroom when you have urge incontinence. So they're worth looking into. And guess what? Today, I just figured out how to do an affiliate link on my channel. I have no clue what that means. I know other channels do it, but I can put links. It's an affiliate link to Amazon, and I can put links for products that maybe I talk about, or I think you might be interested in, or something that I use, like cherries in the snow. You can click on the link and order it directly from the link. And then I guess I get a cut. I understand it's very minimal, so, don't do it for that reason. But I think you get a little bit of a discount. I don't know. I'll have to see if people try it. And if you don't, that's okay. It's okay. Because I'm not in it to make the money. I'm in it to figure out as much as I can about all these things. Anyway, I will stop talking now. I appreciate each and every one of you. You cannot imagine how much you make my day and you make me happy. And I only hope that I can reach one person. That's all. I'll be satisfied with that. So have a good day. Come back for the scoop. And if you can't make it to the scoop, come back in the morning and bring a friend. I'll see you this afternoon.